Welcome to TADSAW Facebook. Glad you could be here today. We're at Friesenham Park in San Antonio among some really nice old oak trees, and I don't have my boys with me. They're at the groomers having the day at the spa. They kind of got dirty in the lack of moisture in the area here, so everything's dry sand. But just want to welcome everybody back. Give you an update. So far through this month, total we have 1,436 service dog teams across the country, 1,005 male veterans and 431 female veterans. There's 161 Vietnam veterans across the country, 69 TADSAW families, 10 TADSAW first responder teams, and 38 TADSAC, Train a Dog, Save a Civilian child teams across the country. It's been a busy month. We've had seven teams that recently graduated through the month of September, and more to come. So everything's on course. So far this year we've done 59 service dog teams. So we're very proud. Of course, the client has to be ready to graduate when they take their public access test. So there's no pressure on them, and the biggest pressure is them coming and learning how to take care of their dog and train their service dog and be able to be successful at it so they can do more things out in public. So I want to thank everybody for all the hard work that you put into training your dogs, and it's an everyday type situation, so you've got to remember that. This month, September, is National Service Dog Appreciation Month. So I want to thank everybody that has a service dog, and anybody who's watching, to go out and let everybody know who's walking with a service dog that that dog is really taking care of them. It's also Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Unfortunately, it needs to be more than just once a month that we look at it. It needs to be every month, every day that we're thinking about suicide prevention awareness, because we're still having problems. But one would think that the TADSAW was the only one to put suicide prevention and service dogs together, kind of like Mr. Reese when he put peanut butter and chocolate together and came up with Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. It's not that hard of a deal. If it sounds good, it's going to work. You just got to try it, and then you get better at it as you try it and make it work better. So I want to thank Mr. Reese's for allowing us to use his formula of chocolate and peanut butter to make medical alert service dogs and people who need service dogs work together. I want to bring up a thing as far as anybody looking to get a service dog, civilian, a veteran, active duty, whatever. There is an application procedure. All you need to do is call me. I answer my phone, 210-643-2901, 24/7, 365. So, you can always reach out to me so we can talk about it and get you an application into the program. For our veterans, if you have any kind of problems getting the paperwork, there's a lot of different, programs out there that you got paperwork on. Remember, only a person with a diagnosed disability can have a service dog or a long-term medical condition. Same thing with civilians. There's a lot of help out there. So don't feel like you can't get a service dog because you don't have the right credentials. The credentials are out there. We just have to find them. And I want everybody to realize one thing. The most important part of service dog training is you concentrating on training your dog, working with your dog, teaching your dog the tasks that the dog needs to do for you, you learning how to read your dog's body language. Your worry should not be the cost of the program. Your worry should be, I need to focus on this training so I can take better care of myself. That's why there is no charge for service dogs to come through TADSAW. Whether it's a personal dog that we're evaluating or a dog that we get from a shelter, your last concern should be money of how I'm going to pay for it. Because you should be focused on how can I make myself better. And that's where TADSAW takes care of it, because we've been very lucky, knock on wood, and that's a big piece of wood up there, that, I'll write the grants, apply for grants all over the country to go ahead and make sure that you, the client, the veteran, The parent doesn't have to worry about how do I come up with money to take care of my needs for my having a service dog. So if you have questions, you always can call me also. Uh, but one thing you need to remember is if you have a dog, just don't get suckered into buying into an invisible fence type of situation in which there's a shock collar on the dog to buzz when they get clear to the fence. Do not do any kind of prong collar or e-collar training, balance type training on the dog, because we want a dog who has what's called willful disobedience, which means when you're triggered, this dog's biggest concern is taking care of you, alerting you when you're triggered, because your dog can pick up on it within 1 to 3 minutes of the time you're triggered. And when your dog comes up and bothers you and you don't think something's wrong and you have a medical condition, whether it's epilepsy, diabetes, blood pressure, migraines, whatever, and your dog comes up to you, at that point you need to focus on the dog, because the dog might just be trying to tell you, hey, pay attention to me. You're triggered for your medical condition. It's not all about anxiety and depression. There are a lot of other medical conditions that somebody may have: cerebral palsy, muscle problems, muscle spasms. So focus on the dog when your dog comes up to you, just for a couple of minutes, and that releases the oxytocin and focuses your brain back on the dog. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Remember, if you don't wear your vest with your service dog, you must carry, whether it's in your phone or a piece of paper, your rabies vaccination shot record. So the only thing that somebody can ask you is, can I see your rabies vaccination? They can't ask you about your dog. All you need to tell them is it's your medical alert service dog. But you must show that rabies vaccination, because you have to assure that your dog is not going to cause a health or physical problem to anybody else in the public access area. Otherwise, you will be asked to take your dog out of the area because it's not following the ADA guidelines. And the ADA guidelines are very easy. It's a great law. One, you must have a diagnosis of a disability or long-term medical condition in which a service dog would be beneficial to you. Two is that the dog provides a task that's going to improve your quality of life. And your quality of life may be different than somebody else, so you're doing different tasks, and those are very trainable, very easy. The one task that we can't train for, but we have to train you, is how to read your dog's body language when you're triggered for your medical condition, whether it's a seizure, whether it's diabetes change, blood sugar change, whether it's high blood pressure, tachycardia, migraine, anxiety, depression, bipolar. When you're going through that change, the dog can pick up on the smell of the chemicals. You must interact with the dog at that point, so that way you can start changing your body's chemicals back to normalcy again, focusing your brain on normalcy. So, and the third is that the dog must be appropriately behaved in public. It can't bark, bite, snarl, growl, urinate, defecate in public. It can't be a physical or a health threat to anybody. So that's why we tell you, if you do go out without your vest on, then just make sure you carry your rabies vaccination certificate. It identifies the dog, you as the owner, the breed of the dog, the color of the dog, and that it's vaccinated correctly. So I encourage anybody, if you have questions, get on our Facebook page, drop a question so we can address it next time that we meet. And I want to thank everybody for viewing us, and you have a great day, and we'll see you in October on the 25th of October. So y'all take care. Well, it's going to be too early for Halloween, so I wish you all a happy Halloween. But we do have Columbus Day coming up, and we do have United Nations Day coming up in October. So we look forward to seeing you all again. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to give me a call. Thank you very much, and y'all have a great day, and sign out.